Hey, what's up, y'all, man? It's your boy Heavy Chevy back with another video. It's been a minute since I did one. Um, just had a lot of stuff going on. Uh, Laptop messed up, lost some recordings, um, but just other stuff, just life. But just real quick, man, want to talk about um, one of the interviews that Mike Zimmer did. It was very interesting with the Doomsday podcast, and when he talked about Micah, he said that Micah was a smart player, and in my opinion, he is. Um, when Micah came out at first, um, I thought he wasn't gonna fall to us when we drafted him. I thought he was gonna go top 10, to be honest. But I also had said that if we did get him, just um, let him do what he do, which is run, run and hit. Now, but you do have to be a smart player to know and play different positions. Now, he's a pure athlete, and he's a good football player. And there are differences with being a football player, being an athlete. Um, and to me, he's a combination of both. This is why he's a rare talent in the league. Um, he can do multiple things. Just look at what he can do, especially his rookie year. He can play linebacker. He can play any position at linebacker. He can cover running backs. He can cover tight ends. He can play Sam. He can play Mike. He can play Will. Um, Before some people come for me, when I say he can play Mike, yes, he can play Mike if that's all a coach wanted him to do. I truly believe that he can play Mike and call a defense if that's what he was asked to do. But he can do so many things that he doesn't have to just play Mike. He can play all across the defensive line except for one tech. But he has lined up in one tech before. He lined up at three tech. He lined up outside, of course. Like 2 plays his rookie year, he pretty much was a corner and breaking up passes. One was actually intercepted by J-Ron Curse. So he's a jack of all trades, and he can play running back because he was a running back in high school. He actually did some footwork drills with C.J. Stroud. I think him and C.J. Stroud are besties right now. So, like, the young man can do a lot. He's a pure athlete, and he's just a natural football player. He doesn't look like he's 250, but he's a solid 250. He can run through tackles. He can run through double teams, sometimes even triple teams. He's instinctual. So I think Mike Zimmer is going to use him as a chess piece, even though he also said that he's going to move him around to determine where how they're going to slide protections towards Michael. He was like, if they're going to slide protections towards Michael, then somebody else, can get, pretty much can eat. So my whole thing is I hope Mike Zimmer sticks to his word. I hope that Jerry and Stevens allow him to stick to his word, because if you can have Micah in a AA package along with Eric Kendricks or Overshawn or Maurice Leofow or what's the other young man name? Damone Clark. Now we have a good linebacking core. In my opinion, we have a good linebacking core with Eric Kendricks going to help teach and get these young guys up to speed as far as the calls go. Then Zim said he's going to be on the sideline, which I like, because he wants to, if anything goes wrong, he wants to be able to tell that player right then and there, hey, you messed up on this play. I need you to do this. I don't need you to play hero ball. And in my opinion, I think that's what happened with a lot last year. A lot of hero ball started going on. Like the defensive linemen, they was able to call their own stunts and stuff like that, and which didn't help in a lot of games. So if you just think about it, and if Mike Zimmer can get these guys up to speed real quick, hopefully the defense can be in a groove by week 8. I'm just saying week 8, they can be in a groove to where everybody know what they will be doing. Then Mike Zimmer can constantly build on top of that defense. It's going to be vanilla at first. It's going to seem vanilla at first for the first couple of weeks. Why? Because this is a brand new defense that Zimmer is going to run. It's not going to be pass rush first. It's going to be stop the run first. You stop the run first, then you get to the quarterback. Because Zims Defense, I said in the previous video when Zims first came over, or right before he came over, that Zims Defense, it will be a lot simpler than when Rex Ryan was trying to get the job, basically. His defense is going to be a lot simpler. Why? Because just based on the scheme, like you can do a double-A package pretty much the entire game, because a quarterback really doesn't know who's coming, who's dropping. You can drop the safety down in the box along with the double-A package. You can have man across the board. You really don't know. You don't know who's coming from what angle, what gap. It could be corner blitzes, safety blitzes. You can have linebacker blitzes. You can drop your DNs in the coverage. It's so many variables just with the double-A look that you can do. It blows my mind at times. And then just the different sub packages that we can run. You know, we can have D-Law, Sam Williams on the edge. You can have Chauncey and Fehoko on the edge. You can slide Chauncey in at 3-tech. You can slide D-Law in at 3-tech. You can put Ose on the edge. Ose play 3-tech. Of course, Mozzie and the young man that got drafted in the 7th round, I think his last name is Rogers. Of course, they're going to be your natural 1-techs. And in my opinion, you still need to go get a veteran 1-tech to help teach these young men. And 2, it was also, to me, kind of foolish to get rid of 2 of your young 1-techs in Big Bo and the young man they drafted from Arkansas, Ridgeway, that went to Washington. You got rid of them too fast. This is going to be their year 3. Year 3 for those 2 young men, and they were probably going to be your unstoppable forces in the middle of the defense. So you got rid of them too fast. But with all that being said, Zim also did bring up the fact about Mozzie. Him and Mozzie talked about, he said in the interview, him and Mozzie talked about his weight. They have a good idea. I think that Mozzie probably going to be between 320, 325. And he's going to be 2-gapping. Meaning, when I mean by 2-gapping, for some people that probably don't understand what that is read and react. He's going to hold his guy or double team. Now, if he's one-on-one, he's going to hold his guy. He's going to look to see where the ball carrier is, and then he's going to attack. So that's what I mean by 2-gapping. So he can go either way. He can go left, he can go right, he can go A-gap, he can go B-gap. he has that responsibility, and Zim said this, they're going to get back to that with him, but of course they got to get his weight up, they got to get his strength up, because he had off-season shoulder surgery. So yeah, in my opinion, Dan Quinn didn't do this defense service when needed be. We had the talent to stop the run and have pass rushers on the field at the same time. When you run certain packages, I also think that did he do well with the pass rushing? Yes. Did he do well in the secondary? Yes. But it was just little things here and there, and little and plays that was being called that really just didn't make sense. Like, why would you have Micah and D-Law on the same side, and you have Marquise Bell and Vander Esch on the same side? Of course, a team is not going to run to that. Or when a team is in 12, 13 personnel, we have a light box. So a lot of that just didn't make sense. And when Zimmer was getting asked questions like, what do you think about the team? Basically, what do you think about the talent that you inherited and stuff like that? In my opinion, I think Zim understands that, yeah, he has the talent to coach, but it's probably going to be much harder to get the mentality coached out of them and not coaching the talent. Because Dan Quinn, within the last, 3 years, yeah, the talent is there, but as far as the mindset of having guys pretty much doing what they want to do at times, that's probably going to be the hardest thing that Zim is going to have to coach. Also, I think Sam Williams probably going to have a good year. The young man is super talented. That's a defensive end, pure defensive end. He can hold the edge now. He can stop and run, and he can get to the passer. He can do all those things. You just having to be mentally disciplined. There's one thing that hurt our defense in years was just discipline at key moments. Now, I'm not going to blame Dan Quinn for a lot of things, but it was the majority of the reason why a lot of things went wrong, and especially this past playoff game. You just can tell. But it's here or there. But I honestly think that by Zim being a no-nonsense coach, his reputation is going to precede him. He has his assistant coaches. A lot of them are no-nonsense guys too. So we shall see how disciplined this defense is going to be. Like I said earlier, man, this defense probably is going to hit its groove, going to hit its stride around about week 8. I'm giving week 8. And everybody's going to know what to do. Everybody's going to gel. It's going to flow. It's going to look it's going to look rocky at times in the first couple of weeks. Why? Because, like I said, you get into a new defense. But we're going to see with all the talent that we have. And I'm just speaking on defense. I'm not even speaking on offense. So maybe tomorrow I'll speak on the offense. And then I'll break down like the units. And the defensive line might do a video on that, do a video on the offensive line, and just giving my opinions on just the different units and how things should pan out and how the schedule is looking. So it's a lot to talk about. I can go further and further, but I am liking what I'm hearing from the assistant coaches, from Mike Zimmer himself. They're basically going to go back to the fundamentals and be disciplined. Yes, we heard it before. We heard it with Dan Quinn and stuff like that. But I honestly think, in my opinion, that Mike McCarthy really wanted to stop the run. He had talked about it multiple times, and interviews, and Dan Quinn just didn't give us that when needed be, even though we had the talent, because Mike McCarthy also said in different interviews that he want to run a multiple defense. I think we'll get that, but we're probably just going to mainly run a 4-3 base. Zim did say we're always going to have 2 linebackers on the field. 2 linebackers on the field, not 1 linebacker and a half. Not to put anything against, Marquise Bell, even though he did a good job, but he's not a true linebacker. He's a safety. And so we're going to have 2 linebackers at all times. I'm just excited to see what the players are going to do and how they are going to play out these packages and this defense that's going to be hopefully within the top 15 before the year out, maybe top 10 before the year out. Probably going to be a lot of turnovers because we have the talent to stop the run and get after the pass rush. And with the AA package, if we go man across the board, it's going to be tough because we have the corners to play man. We also have the corners to play zone. We have smart corners. DaRon Bland is a smart corner. Jay Lewis is a smart corner. Diggs is a smart corner. Malik Hooker is a smart safety. We have the talent. We have the players. So I'm just excited to see it. Man, this your boy Heavy Chevy once again. Follow me on all social media platforms. Peace.